Hare Krishna, Sheetalanga, Gauranga Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Wait for another 1 or 2 minutes, then we can start, Prabhuji. We are just making the initial preparation.
No problem. Am I visible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are very audible and also we can see you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
You want us to share any slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, or you will be...
I have a few, but should I tell everything?
Sorry, Prabhuji. No, if you want to share by yourself, we can give the rights. You can share it, Prabhuji, by yourself, whichever the way you...
I will just read, that's all, It's too much for me to move around, work around and all that.
Okay, Prabhuji. If you want us to open and share, we will be doing that, Prabhuji.
No problem, no problem.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Dr. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Sheetalanga, Prabhu, if you tell the sloka which you are going to speak, when Prabhu will share whenever he speak, if that is possible.
There are many shlokas. One is 1074-47.
Krishna, Prabhu, able to hear?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am opening Prabhu. 1074-47.
Then you can kindly note down. The other one is 1075-8.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And the third is 11-29-6. 11-29-6.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. These 3 slokas, or you have more, Prabhu?
That's all.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu, I think we are ready. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. We are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Sheetalanga Gauranga Prabhu. And final day of this gratitude festival. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on the importance of gratitude from different verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Over to you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dhina Taranam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namavom Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna to all the wonderful devotees. I am very fortunate to be having this opportunity to be with you and read Srimad Bhagavatam along with you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So this is the 10th year of the ISKCON South Bangalore Jagannath Mandir. So the very apt topic that has been chosen to be highlighted for the past few days is gratitude. Anybody who has received any kind of help, if he does not show his gratitude to the person who has assisted him, helped him, served him, then it doesn't speak good of him. Therefore, let us try to understand how this gratitude works, what this gratitude is, and how different devotees and how even the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna himself, is in gratitude. Is in gratitude to the devotees. So I would like to focus on a few verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the first of which is 10:74-47. Ritvigvyaha sa sadasabhye sadasebhyasa dakshinam vipulam adat sarvan sampujya vidivat chakre abhabhrutam yekara. So this is talking about what Yudhishthira Maharaja did on the occasion of his performance of the Rajasuya Yajna. Emperor Yudhishthira gave generous gifts to the sacrificial priests and the members of the august assembly properly honoring them all in the manner prescribed in the Shastras, Vedas. He then took Avabrata Snana and continued his services. So, the word gratitude has been utilized here by Srila Prabhupada for the specific Sanskrit word dakshinam. So dakshinam means gifts in gratitude. This is what he translates dakshinam as. It is very important for us to understand how Yudhishthira Maharaja has given these gifts in gratitude. What was his mood? What was his motive? What was his inner thinking? So this is what we need to understand. Here it said that if somebody is given a gift, dakshina, that dakshina should never be given grudgingly. This dakshina should never be given in a way as to increase one's own position amongst the devotees, amongst one's own family, amongst one's own well-wishers. So the focus is not one's own self, whereas the focus are the others to whom we are actually giving gifts. We see many people conducting very big yagnas, conducting various festivals, giving donations to the temple. But in return, they demand that they be recognized. This is not gratitude. This is nothing but business, vyapara, vyavahara. So here, Yudhishthira Maharaja, he is giving generously. So this is the first thing. He is giving generously. Now, what is generous? Is it in reference to the person who is receiving that gift? Or is it in reference to the person who is offering the gift? This must be understood. If a man can give, say, $1 million as a gift to somebody, if he's capable of giving $1 million as a gift, and if he thinks he is giving the gift to somebody for whom $1 million is a very big amount, and therefore it's sufficient that I give him just $100,000 or maybe $1,000. This is wrong. There are two things to be understood here. One is the value of the person for whom we are bestowing this gift. So whatever we do, it should be commensurate with the amount of value we attach to that person. And therefore, the gift should not be in terms of what that person is in the general sense, but in terms of how much service he has rendered to us. If this is not understood, then we will think that, okay, a politician has come, he deals money in tens of thousands of rupees, in crores of rupees, and therefore, if I give him 1,000 rupee, then I will not be recognized. So therefore, let me give him 2 crores, 10 crores. If a sadhu comes, and what is he begging? He is begging just a meal, that's all. nothing more than that. So if we think, a good meal costs, say, 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees in a big place, big establishment, so let me give him 2,000 rupees. He should be satisfied with that. I mean, the saints are always satisfied because they are devotees of the Lord. So they will be satisfied with anything, but we will not get the real benefit of giving in charity to such a saintly person. So this is the first thing. Giving generously means not from the reference point of the person, but from how much I can bestow. What is my generosity? What is my level? So based on that, we have to generously, we have to give donations. We have to give gifts to others. We have to show our gratitude in this way. This is the first thing. The second thing is gifts to whom? Who is the patra? The person who receives. Just for the sake of name and fame, we cannot give gifts to anything. We cannot give gifts to anyone and everyone. We have to give gifts to the suitable patra. And that is also being very aptly being given to us by this verse. Gifts to the sacrificial priests and the members of the assembly. So who were in his assembly? Narada Rishi was in his assembly. Bhishma Deva, Parvata Muni, the various wonderful saints, and all those kings who were very much accepted by the people as worthy of ruling them. So these were the people. And on top of everybody else were the priests who conducted the ceremony, not because that they could get something money out of him, out of Yudhishthira Maharaja, but because it was meant to be a sacrifice. It was meant to be a service unto the Supreme Personality of God. So in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaja, was bestowing the gifts on those very worthy people, like those who do not want anything in life, who do not have anything in their life materially, and also on those who are having everything in their life. So generally people think, the common man thinks, that giving money to a poor person is better than giving money to a person who has already money with him. That is not the criteria. The main criterion is he worthy of receiving this charity? He may have $1 billion already with him. We are not bothered whether he has or he does not have. We are bothered only whether he is worthy of accepting this charity that I want to bestow on him. So this is the second point. The third point is, when this is being done, it should be done in a very proper way, honoring them all in the manner prescribed by the Vedas. So we cannot honor anyone in the way we want. We have to follow all the rules and regulations. We have to follow all the recommendations of the Shastras. And however they are recommending, in that particular way alone, we have to serve. We have to observe our charity. So these are the points that we have obtained from this verse. From the next verse, 1075 and 8, it's actually a development. Even though it is coming in a different chapter, it's actually a development of the same verse. Ritvik Sadasya Bahuvitsu Suruttamesha Swa Ishteshu Sunruta Samarhana Dakshinabihi. Ritviks. Who are the Ritviks? Ritviks are those who operate, who do services on behalf of the sponsorer. So the priests are all generally Ritviks. So the priest, after the priest, the prominent delegates, the greatly learned saints, and the king's most intimate well-wishers had all been properly honored with pleasing words, auspicious offerings, and various gifts as remuneration. So here we are again finding how we have to show gratitude. We have to show gratitude. We have already studied in the previous verse that it should be according to the recommendations of the scriptures. Along with that, we have to have pleasing words. So it's not that I have a lot of money and then, I give something in my left hand. Okay, take. Oh, no problem. You take. I have a lot of money. You can take. It's a very wrong attitude. With pleasing words. With pleasing words means just like we welcome a politician, we don't respect him. We absolutely do not respect him at all. And yet he is required because we require something from him. His recommendation for a site, or something is not working in our area, in our colony, in our layout, and therefore we are going to him. And then, we are talking very pleasingly to him. No, not this kind of pleasing. The pleasing words have to come from within our hearts. So in Kannada, there is a word called as mukastuti. This mukastuti means, it's just like a mask, only for the sake of show, only for the sake of impressing somebody. If this is done, then we cannot be showing our real gratitude. Therefore, we have to be really be pleasing from within to bestow this charity on somebody. And that person has to be worthy of receiving charity, receiving gifts, receiving our gratitude. Our gratitude can be expressed in many ways. It can be expressed by giving gifts. It can be expressed by serving them. It can be expressed by actually talking good of them. It can be expressed by protecting them. In various ways, we can show our gratitude. So the words that we use when we are actually bestowing the gift, bestowing the dakshina, showing our gratitude, it should be with pleasing words, pleasing actions, not for show, but from within the core of our heart. And the other one is that all the offerings must be auspicious. It should not be inauspicious. For example, you may show your gratitude to somebody by giving him something which is abominable, a bottle of liquor, some meat preparation. So these are not auspicious offerings. The auspicious offerings are those yayatma suprasidati, that the soul that receives that offering will become completely satisfied. Now, what is that offering? What is that offering? That offering is nothing but Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. Janayatyashu vairagyam gnanam cha yadahaitukam. So the bestowal of pure devotional service on another living entity is the highest gift that we can bestow on that person. Then you may ask the question, okay, this is talking about gratitude. Why should I be showing my gratitude to some living entity who has not done anything to me? Actually, we are asking this question because we are separating the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his children. We are not understanding that this living entity, who is now not so much favorable to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is actually my Father's own children. I am their brother. I am their sister. I am their servant because they are elder to me in age. I am their younger brother, so it's my duty to serve them. How to serve them? By bestowing Krishna consciousness. And there is another very wonderful point which is hidden in this, that I am showing my gratitude to Krishna. I am showing my gratitude to Krishna because he has actually bailed me out of the material life. So you see, in different ways, even by serving someone who didn't do anything to us, we can still show gratitude to Sri Krishna, the original creator, the original maintainer, and the original destroyer. So this is gratitude. So we have to show our gratitude with pleasing words. We have to show our gratitude by auspicious offerings. And we have to also give gifts, various gifts, as remuneration. Now, what is the remuneration? What is the meaning of the word remuneration? It means it's compensation for some services received. It's compensation for some services received. The roads are being maintained by somebody. The politicians whom we have no faith, the politicians whom we think are actually exploiting us. But still, in spite of all those things, they are doing something. They're doing something. It's not that they're not doing anything. In spite of themselves, they are doing something. So we have to show our gratitude to them. So because we have received some service, and how to show our gratitude to them, and simultaneously show gratitude to Krishna, our loving Father, by simply preaching to them. By preaching to them, please understand that in this world, there is so much of money, there is so much of opulence in so many people's lives. What they don't have are true friends. What they don't have are true friends. There are lots of hangers-on around them. Now, what is their purpose? The purpose is how to take something off him. How I can exploit this politician for my own use. But if we also fall into the same category, then how are we different from them? So therefore, we have to very lovingly speak to them, really lovingly. Understanding that, yes, this person may be bad. It doesn't matter. This person may be doing a lot of bad things. It doesn't matter to me. He may be doing bad things to me also. It doesn't matter to me. I have to give him something. What I give him he should be able to utilize, and he should be able to actually correct himself. And what is that? That is nothing but Krishna consciousness. If you directly go to a politician and say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unless he belongs to a community or a caste that believes in Krishna, he is not going to be satisfied. So therefore, we have to give him all those different kinds of things that will actually make him good, make him feel good. We have to see that he is pleased with us. And what is the most important thing that can please a person in the material world? We are not exploiting them. If we are able to somehow or other demonstrate that we are his true well-wishers, our Lord is Surdam Sarvabhutanam. So as servants of our wonderful master, we should also be Surdam Sarvabhutanam by being very nice and friendly to them in a positive way, in a sattvic way. They can very easily find out this man is different from this man. And that will automatically make him listen to many things that we have to tell him. And slowly but surely, he will become a Krishna's devotee and he will begin to chant the holy names of the Lord. Now there is one more very wonderful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that helps us understand why we have to be showing our gratitude, and especially showing our gratitude to Krishna. That is 11, 29 and 6. 11, 29, 6. Naivo payanti apachitum kavayastavesha brahmayushapi krutam ruddhamuda smarantaha yo antar bahishtanubhrutam ashubham vidhunvan acharya chaityavapusha swagatim vyanakti. Isha, oh my Lord, Isha, the controller who controls everything, who is naturally controlling me also. Therefore, oh my Lord, Isha, Kavayaha, transcendental poets or learned devotees or those who are experts in devotional science. Those Kavayaha, my dear Lord, Nayeva upayate. Nayeva upayate. Nayeva, certainly not possible. Not at all able to express their gratitude to you. Even if they are endowed with Brahma Ayusha api. Even if they are endowed with Brahma Ayusha. So, Brahma's lifetime is 411 trillion years and 30-odd billion years. Even if all those wonderful experts in the science of devotional service are having such a long duration of existence, they cannot show you the gratitude. Why? Because for you appear in two features, Bahihi, Acharya, Antaha, Chaityaha. So externally, you're appearing as the Acharya or the spiritual master, and internally, you are appearing as the super soul, Chaitya Guru. And why he is appearing? Why Krishna is appearing as both the Acharya as well as the Chaitya Guru, the external Guru and the internal Guru. Why? Because Tanubrutam, the embodied one, Swagatim, Vyanakti, directed. The embodied ones are directed how to come back to you. So, the Lord personally takes the form of Chaitya Guru and also as our Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, whatever Guru, and he is showing us the path back home, back to Godhead. And how he shows this path back home, back to Godhead? Ashubham Vidunvan. Ashubham Vidunvan. By removing all the dirty miseries, disturbing miseries, by dissipating all our miseries. So how does miseries get dissipated? Miseries get dissipated by actually having perfect knowledge. And what does Chaitya Guru do? What does the external Guru does? They do the same thing. They give us transcendental knowledge. So therefore, we have to be very, very indebted to them. We have to show our gratitude to them. Because we are getting the real way of going back home, back to Godhead, only from them. Your father or mother, unless they were pure devotees of the Lord, they cannot show you the path. Our society does not show us the path. So it's only the transcendental scriptures and the sincere followers of those scriptures and the Guru who can actually show us the path back home, back to Godhead. Of course, if our parents happens to be such sincere devotees, then they show. But irrespective of whether they show or not, we have to show our gratitude to them. How do we show our gratitude to a father who is a demon? I mean, he does not allow me. Think that one's father does not allow oneself to do any devotional service. And you join the temple and they come and they file hundreds of cases. They go to the press, they do this, they do that. How we can show our gratitude to them also? And why should we show our gratitude to them? Tanuvritam. They have given me this body. Now, how to show gratitude to them? Oh, they have given me the body. Therefore, let me stop devotional service and let me go back home. And my father has a wonderful liquor business or meat business. And I will help him, serve him. And therefore, I will show my gratitude to them. Is this the way? No. We have to show our gratitude to them the way Dhruva Maharaja and Prahlada Maharaja showed their gratitude to their fathers who were not so much supportive of them. And especially in the case of Prahlada, he was not only just not so much supportive, he was completely inimical. And yet, Prahlada Maharaja showed his gratitude to his father. How? Simply becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. So if you and us, if all of us, if we show perfect behavior in devotional activities, then we are showing our gratitude even to those people who are working against us. See, a totally different, completely different understanding of gratitude. Prahlada Maharaja, after he had the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form as Narasimha, he was asked to ask for any boon. But he said, I am not a vanik, I am not a merchant. I have not come here to do any kind of business. But if at all you want to give anything to me, please bless my father. Please bless my father who was inimical to me, and he was very, very disrespectful towards you, who was inimical to you also. And what does the Lord say? The Lord says, Sapta Tribihi. Prahlada, you don't have to worry. They're all delivered. Not only your father, the lineage of your mother, the lineage of your father, and the lineage of your wife's father, all of them will be delivered. Don't worry. You just become a pure devotee of the Lord. So what should be our goal? Our goal must be to simply follow all the rules and regulations that have been given to us by our Acharya, who is Acharya Mam Vijaniya. Do not think that your Acharya is different from me. Krishna is telling again in the 11th canto, I am the Acharya. So simply by following all the wonderful recommendations and instructions that have been given to us by Srila Prabhupada, we can please the Lord, we can please all our ancestors, and we can please the whole world. Jiva Goswami says, Lord Krishna is 10 million times more dear to a devotee than his own life. The devotee has a life. So the devotee feels that Krishna is more important to me 10 million more times than my own life. This is an exhibition of gratitude. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, he says that even by rendering devotional service for a total duration of 1,000 universal creations, it's not Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. It is 1,000 universal creations. That means 1,000 times the full Ayushya of 1,000 of one Brahma. That means 411, 412 trillion years into 1,000. So even if a devotee is given that much of lifetime, Ayushya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is telling that we cannot repay the kindness shown to us by the Supreme Lord. And what is that kindness? A devotee cannot repay the debt he feels to the Lord for having awarded him loving devotional service unto the Lord's lotus feet. So Bhakti Seva is so wonderful. And we cannot show our indebtedness. We cannot show our gratitude to Krishna. But how should we try to show our gratitude to Krishna? Simply take his message that he has given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Vishwanath Chakravarti again says that the Lord appears as Super Soul as well as Guru. And as Guru, he is not only just person Bhagavata, he is also book Bhagavata, literary incarnation of the Lord. So therefore, we can show our gratitude to Sri Krishna. If we show our gratitude to Sri Krishna, you have shown gratitude to all living entities, to all life forms, 8,400,000 species of life forms. For all of them, you have shown gratitude by simply showing gratitude to one person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The same thing very beautifully, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions it in his instructions on devotional service. Krishna yadi kripa kore kono bhagyavane Guru antaryami nupe shikaya apane shikaya. He is teaching. He is teaching. He is teaching what? He is teaching how to execute devotional service. So anyone who tries to teach us what is devotional service, how to execute devotional service, how to chant the holy name of the Lord, how to do some physical service, how to preach, how to do deity worship, how to physically take care of ailing Vaishnavas. Anybody who teaches all these things, we should be greatly indebted to them. How to be indebted to them? Simply take this message to all the other persons whom you can. And you can take this message not only to human beings, you can take this message to every single living entity in the form of a bacteria, in the form of a virus, in the form of a snake, in the form of this, that, whatever. In other words, in short, all the 8,400,000 species of life form, you can take this message. How? Just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, loudly. Haridas Thakura chanted 64 rounds, Manasika. Then he chanted the next 64 rounds in Vachika. Manasika means simply chanting within the mind, with no movement of either the lip or any portion of the body. No sound. But he chanted in Vachika also. Vachika is shouting loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loudly chanting. For what purpose? Every mosquito that is around me, every small bacteria that's on my body, that's inside my body, everybody feels the transcendental vibration of the holy names of the Lord. And if anybody hears the holy name of the Lord, then they can get the highest benefits. So therefore, he did Vachika also. On one extreme is Manasya Japa, Manasika Japa, and the other side, other extreme is Vachika Japa, loud chanting. And in between, he chanted 64, another 64 rounds, 100,000 names. And what is that? That is nothing but Upamshu. Chanting in such a way that there is lip movement and a person who is sitting right next to me can hear me. So in this way, a faithful devotee directs all his energy towards Krishna. A faithful devotee, what does he do? He directs all his energy towards Krishna. How? By taking away the focus away from both his material body and even his own individual self. He does not think I should go back home, back to Godhead. He does not even think that. Such a person is called as a Parishuddha Bhakta or Nishtha Bhakta. And what does Krishna do to such a devotee? Krishna reciprocates and glorifies his devotee abundantly, showering on this such a wonderful devotee with wonderful gifts. How? In gratitude for his love. If you love Krishna without expectation of any return, If you serve Krishna without expectation of any name, any fame, any position, then Krishna becomes indebted to you. And Krishna bestows everything on that devotee. And what does that devotee do? Does he thank him? You have given me so much. He says, no, Lord, don't give me all these things. I don't want. Immediately, what does he do? Okay, this devotee requires, therefore let me give this away to him. This devotee requires, let me give it to him. He doesn't keep anything. He simply chants the holy name of the Lord and preaches the glories of the holy name of the Lord. So, this is the last day on this gratitude a series of lectures you have been hearing. It is my humble request that all of us, including me, should show our gratitude to every other living entity by performing our devotional service very, very sincerely and seriously. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If there are any questions or comments or clarifications, you are most welcome, if there is time.
Yes, Guruji. So thank you very much, Guruji, for this such wonderful class. From the Bhagavatam, you telling us that whom to give the charity and who is the right person, and also that not to see that what is the best, what I can give him or what he needs, rather than what is my best capacity to give, and also by performing sincere and serious devotional service, we can, that will be the one of the Prahlad Maharaj examples also we gave, by he becoming pure, that how his father also got delivered. And so by sharing such wonderful lesson from the Bhagavatam, we are very fortunate. And also we are very fortunate that by Lord's arrangement, many devotees are getting benefited every day by the evening. The last 5 sessions have happened, and another 5, 6 more sessions of deity worship. So there's also, all the devotees were telling that don't give any break or something. It is going on, let it go with the same flow. So for that we are indebted, that we'll try our best to do the whatever best maximum amount of the standards we can set to do that. So thank you very much. So if any devotees have any questions, can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for wonderful, very, very nectarian, usual style of yours, emphasizing on the point. Thank you very much. One just a doubt. Many time we are gratitude to Guru or seniors who are not very close to us. But those who are close to us, our fellow devotees or our family members, we are taken for granted. We don't, of course, externally or internally, we don't show that. How do we develop that?
The first and foremost thing that we should understand is that I have been put into a particular family, in a particular situation, under a particular authority, because I deserve them and they deserve me. Why somebody who is serving in Pune is not put under this authority? Why a devotee who is serving under an authority in Mayapur is not serving in Bombay? Because the Lord has made arrangements for us. The Lord has made arrangements for us means that I have to be with this person as my father, as my spiritual authority, as my wife, as my children, as my neighbor. the neighbor or the wife or whoever it is may be giving us great amount of trouble. Then what should we do? We have to understand that that trouble has the capacity to actually give me something what Srila Prabhupada, what Sri Krishna wants me to learn. The moment we understand this, then we become very respectful even to a person who is harassing us, not loving us, who is harassing us. We become respectful to even such a person. Why? Because this man has been sent by the supreme will of the Lord. For what purpose? So that I can be elevated from my present position. By understanding, by recognizing this very important but subtle point, we can immediately become very, very thankful even to those people who are giving us great amount of trouble. Does this answer your question?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Doctor. Please tell me.
Excellent lecture as usual, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have one doubt, but before that, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for the Rahari Chaitanya Prabhu and all the team who have organized this wonderful program, and it has aroused our the gratitude. We know for every little thing we should be thankful for the person, and also above all what you ended is we have to be grateful to Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, my one doubt is in 10.75.8 he said Avabrata Snana. What is that, Prabhu? Avabrata Snana.
Very good question. Thank you. In any Vedic ceremony, for example, take the ceremony of Pratisthapana of the Lord, that is the installation of the Lord. Or you take Brahmotsava. If you see any of these Vedic ceremonies, then it is spread over many days. The first day, you do some activity. Second day, you start developing that activity. Third day, you do some other activity. So like this. And on the last day, what happens is that you have practically finished everything.
Yes.
You have finished all the services, whatever you wanted to do.
Yes.
So, after finishing everything, the devotees of the Lord go to a holy place and they immerse themselves in a body of water, holy water. That is called as Avabruta Snanha. That means the snana that takes place after everything. If you have seen the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams,
Yes, Prabhu. Chakra Snana will be there in the end.
Yeah, Chakra Snana will be there, and that happens to be the last item. So along with Chakrat Alvar, who is Sudarshana Chakra, everybody is taking a dip in the holy Swami Pushkarani, which is directly flowing from the lotus feet of the Lord, which is non-different from the Mandakini of the heavens or the Ganga of this middle world, or the Mandakini, Ganga or Bhogavati of the ethereal, netherial world. So it is non-different. So why do we do that? We do that because after every ceremony, at the end of each ceremony, we say, Krishnarpanamastuhu, that whatever benefit that have been accrued by the performance of this sacrifice, by the performance of this service, by the performance of this ceremony, I am simply surrendering unto you. This is pure devotion service. We should not do anything because we want to enjoy the benefit of that service. If we have obtained some benefit, if some benefit is being bestowed on us by whoever it could be the Lord, it could be our authorities, whoever, we have to simply surrender it back unto the lotus feet of the Lord. The great dasas of Karnataka, they have mentioned, Keraya neeranu keragechelli. What is ours? Nothing is ours. I chanted some mantra nicely. What does it mean? It means only one thing, that the Lord has allowed all the devatas who are controlling my different avayavas, organs, and that, the devata was controlling the mouth. He did not put in extra saliva, and therefore came out as is. Otherwise, should have come as ush. So I didn't chant my mantra on my own. I didn't do a very nice, wonderful yajna or a arati or a abhisheka ceremony on my own, because the Lord allowed those deities who are controlling my body to function properly. I have Shakti in my body because of the prasada I am getting from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So without prasadam, I'll be weak. I'll be like this. I can't do any service properly. So the sun, the moon, the light, the air, the water, the grains, the vegetables, the nectarian milk, everything is the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So after having obtained all these wonderful support, if I have done some service, this service credit actually does not belong to me. This service credit also belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I should not take any commission out of it. I should not claim that I am the author of this devotional service. Therefore, we have to simply offer it unto the lotus feet of the Lord. So this Avabruta Snana is actually a ceremony that makes us understand, now wash off all the things that you are acquired, now wash off. And where should it go? It should go back to water. And what is water? Water is the lotus feet of the Lord. Why? Ganga flows from lotus feet of the Lord. And because Ganga is there from the lotus feet of the Lord, has the sparsha of the lotus feet of the Lord, it is having so much of power and potency. Does this answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu, very much. Thank you so much. And one question I ask you, Prabhu. What is the difference in taking bath in Ganga and Yamuna? They say there's a slight difference. Is there a difference in taking bath in Ganga and Yamuna?
I do not know. For us, there is no difference. But maybe I'm using logic. I'm not using Shastra now to answer your question. Maybe Ganges is more identified with the Mayavadis. And Yamuna is more identified with the Bhaktas. So the Nirakaravadis perhaps are more attached to Ganga, and the Bhaktas are more attached to Yamuna. Hare Krishna.
Actually, what they said is when you go to Ganga and take bath, it takes away all your impurities. But when you take bath in Yamuna, they say it takes off your good and bad. Both it takes away. And it helps you to go to the Mukti path. I don't know whether it is true or not, Prabhu. So I thought I'll ask you.
Logically, it appears good explanation, but I have to, whenever I have to give an answer, I should be able to identify from the Shastras. So as of now, I have not identified this. I'll do some research on it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There is one question in the chat window. Should I read out for you, Prabhu?
Please.
This question is from Bharati Rajesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances to your lotus feet. Prabhuji, when we go to temple after darshan of the Lord, when we come out of the temple, many beggars will be sitting. Many beggars will be sitting outside. They beg for money. We don't know whether they are devotees or not. Is it correct to give them money?
Thus, there is an instance from the life of His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Pada. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he visited Puri, and after visiting Puri, he had brought with him a whole retinue of devotees, and everybody went to have darshan of Alal Nata or Alvar Nata outside of Puri. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur went inside, had darshana, did kirtana, and his services are over. So he's coming out, and when he's coming out, he's followed by all these Grahastha devotees who were in his entourage. So as Bharati Mataji has rightly pointed out, there were rows and rows of many beggars sitting on either side of the temple, and they were all begging. And of course, they did not beg from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati because he's a sadhu, he's a sannyasi. He himself is a beggar in one sense. So they didn't go and ask him anything, but then they went to all the grahasthas wearing white, and they said, Same, Dana, Haya, Pa, Ma, whatever, in whatever fashion they would ask. So they were asking. And all the Grahastha disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they did not put any money. And Saraswati Thakur came to know that they have not offered any donation to them. So he turned back and then he said, whatever you have, you should share it with the downtrodden people. If you don't share it with the downtrodden people, then you are accruing karma. So if you can provide, and if you don't provide, then you will accrue karma. So therefore, we can understand from this that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati actually encouraged his disciples to give in donation to the downtrodden. But on the other side, we have, Krishna telling us that Desha Kala Patra should all be observed while giving donation. And this Desha Kala Patra can be observed under three different modes. Under the mode of Sattvaguna, how to do charity; in Rajoguna, how to do charity; and Tamoguna, people, how they will do charity. So therefore, we have to reconcile both of this. Now, any person requires food. If you give some food to any person, if you don't give them, too much, they cannot exploit it. They can only eat it, or they can just discard it, and somebody else who needs it can eat it. So if you give money, they may take it, and they may go to a cigarette shop, or a liquor shop, or a meat shop, and break the four regulative principles. Whereas if we give them some large prasadam, then they cannot mishandle it. I mean, they can mishandle it by actually not honoring it. But you are not responsible for them mishonoring that. You don't get any karma. And they begged you. And when they begged you, they said, please give me money because I am hungry. And now you are giving them one laddu. So if they are really hungry, or if they understand the value of prasadam, then they will honor it and they'll be blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If they were really not hungry, they may dishonor it. And for having spoken a lie, saying that I am hungry, and ask for money, and ask money for breaking the regulatory principle, they get the karma. So therefore, I would suggest that instead of giving out money, if you are going to a place of yatra sthala, dhamma, you have a lot of prasadam with you in your bag, and you give them this much little laddus. And if you know somebody, and if you know that they require money, and if you know that they require money for this purpose, and if you know that that purpose is a valid purpose and it's not an adharmic purpose, then you give out a check, then you give out money. Otherwise, distribute freely. Two things: the holy name of the Lord and the Lord's prasada. I hope it answers your question fully.
Mataji has responded.
Yes. Any other question?
I'm just looking at the chat window, Prabhuji, to see whether there are any other questions. Yeah, I think there are no questions, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Yes, Prabhuji. Swayam Prakash Prabhu, please go ahead. Yes, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Sometimes puja, the puja or the rate for that. And so because the Soma, the fixed rate. So can we say service for that kind of Brahmana who's looking for everything?
I could not really understand the question because there was a lot of breakage in voice. If somebody, if the host has understood the question, he may kindly repeat it.
Sachidanand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Now, Prabhu, it's clear, Prabhu, now?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, sometimes when you want to do some yajna, home for the houses,
Okay.
the Progit, the fixed rate for that. Sudarshan Homa 10,000, this Homa 20,000. So all the fixed rate. So we can take service from that kind of Brahmanas.
Brahmagnana janati iti brahmana yajana yajana patana patana dadati pratignati. These are the qualifications and characteristics of a brahmana. A brahmana should not demand any money. He should not demand any money. But it so happens that if he does not demand any money, then he will come and do service, and somebody may think that, okay, I will give 200 rupees for him. He is a poor brahmana. 200 rupees, he should be able to feed himself for one full day. It should not be a problem, he may think. And he may give 200 rupees. But that 200 rupees may not be actually sufficient for him. But he's not reached the level of that Brahman, of Brahmanical culture, wherein he is under the platform of Yadrucha Lava Santushto. He's not under that platform. He's not on that platform. So he may actually end up cursing the person who gave him 200 rupees. So the best thing is that, especially in today's world, everybody understands that everybody, we are all calling ourselves as devotees, but anybody is there in their home without a fan? No. Anybody is there at home without having 2-3 meals a day? No. And what should be the money that is required as rent to stay in a very normal house? We know. So, taking all these things into consideration, one should give more than what he can afford. Taking all these things into consideration, a grahastha who engages the services of a brahmana should give him more than what he can afford. Little more. Not that, he writes his whole, he does one graha pravesha, and at the end of the graha pravesha, he makes a registration in the name of the Purohit who came to the place. Nobody is going to do that. Okay, but what did Yudhishthira Maharaja do? After the Rajasuya Yajna, I don't know how many of you know this, he gave the entire land. He gave the entire land with all its riches, with all its forests, with all its gold, mineral, everything, including himself, onto the lotus feet of the Brahmanas who actually came to officiate his ceremony. And what did the Brahmanas do? The Brahmanas said, my dear Lord, what is the use of all these things? You are the ruler. You should take care of. Actually, it's a headache for us if we take all this land. Okay, you just give us some cows and give us some clothes, vastra, and go. We don't want anything else. The rest of the thing, they left it. And they took only these things and then they went. Why they want cows? They want cows because they have to do yajna. If they have to do yajna, they require ghee. If they require pure ghee, then they require good quality, good breed, desi cows. From there, milk transformed into curd, transformed into butter, then transformed into. Therefore, cow is very, very important in Vedic culture. Similarly, another great king, he did yajna. And when he did yajna in the Himalayas, he did with only pure gold dravyas. Every single implement used in the yajna was made of gold. And all the gold was utilized for the services of the priest who officiated. Meaning, he said, my dear Brahmanas, you have touched all this and you have used it for the service of the Lord. You can take it. I don't want anything. And the Brahmana said, it's all headache for us. Just like Sanatana Goswami and his servant Isha traveling. Then some two guys are scheming how to kill these two people. Sanatana Goswami being Sanatana Goswami, he knows this man, assistant, is carrying something. He asked him, what are you carrying? He said, carrying one gold coin, so that in case somewhere it is required for your service. And then what? Give it up. Go and give it to them. So these are the characteristics of Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas there, he said, we don't want anything. They left it in the Himalayas and they went back to their places just with their japamala, nothing else. And this was known to Vyasadeva. When Yudhishthira Maharaja had to do a very big yajna after the war, Ashwamedha yajna, because Yudhishthira Maharaja kept repeating no, I am responsible for all this people's death, and I'm to be blamed, blah, 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 blah. He said, all right, you do Ashwamedha Yajna. Then Ashwamedha Yajna means, it's not something ordinary. You require tons and tons and tons of money. So many things have to be brought. So many arrangements have to be made. And after the war, which country will have money? If India and Pakistan goes to war, you think Pakistan can survive or India can survive? We can't, because war, the end of war, irrespective of who is the victor or who is the loser, both end up losing everything. So Yudhishthira Maharaja wanted to do Ashwamedha Yajna under the order of Krishna and Vyasadeva, but he had no money. So Vyasadeva said, send Arjuna to this place. Send Bhima to that place. There gold is lying. Because this king in this yuga did this yajna, and all the gold is lying there. All the gold rejected by the Brahmanas. So we are not having such kind of Brahmanas today. Okay? And they also want to lead a normal life. So therefore, in one sense, it may be better if they say, if you want to do Sudarshana Yajna, I will charge you 10,000 rupees. If they say openly, that may be good in one sense, because you also know what you are getting into. It's a deal. You are not a pure devotee. Yes or no? Yes. So that fellow who is doing for you is also not a pure devotee. So you are doing some business, but this is sattvic business. So therefore, it may be better. So if you go and try to buy an iPhone, you will ask, what is the price? He will tell you 1,80,000. You will say, thank you very much. This phone is very nice. I can't afford it. And then you will go, and then you will go for Nokia, or you will go for Vivo, or you will go for whatever can suit you, you will go. Okay. So in the same way, if somebody comes and says, my bill, the charity that you have to give me, the dakshina you have to give me is 100,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees for performing Sudarshana Yajna, you tell him, thank you very much, I can't afford. You go, find out somebody else. So therefore, we cannot really strictly say in today's world whether it is right or wrong. But if you ask me what you will do, I will say, I will not ask for any money. And if they give me money, which is much more than what actually I require, I'll just split it into two and put it in the Lord's hundi. Finished. So this way, we can actually maintain our consciousness. So we need to understand that those priests also need to live in this world. And you are telling that your 80,000 rupees per month is not sufficient for you. And that fellow is going around with some kartal and yagna paraphernalia. So how our 2,000 rupees may be sufficient for him? It may not be sufficient. But if we are really true devotees of the Lord, we should not ask anything. If we ask, then it will accrue a certain amount of misery in our life. Does this answer the question?
Thank you for a wonderful answer, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this. Also, one more question. Time is there, Prabhu?
Yes. Go on.
In the Kali Yuga, as we all know,
an unemployed graduate. I have no time. I don't have to go anywhere.
Others are born by time. In the Kali Yuga, the real yajna is Sankirta yajna. But still we are attracted to fire yajna. Why? And why are you so attracted to that?
We are attracted because we want to be that. The nutshell I have told. We are attracted to yajna because we want to be the priest who is doing that yajna and get that name and fame. and be the cynosure of all eyes. This is the truth. Nothing else is. Many people will not tell you this.
Correct.
But this is the truth. You are secretly coveting that I want to learn. I want to do yajna. Why you want to learn and do yajna? So that I can sit in that place and everybody can, focus on me. This is one of the primary reasons why people don't want to do simple devotional service, but they want to do very high funda devotional service. They don't want just simply sit in one corner and chant Hare Krishna. They want huge temple. Why you want huge temple? Many devotees can come. So what you are doing, many devotees are coming. You're only collecting money. Prabhupada wanted Mayapur as a big temple. Fine, we understand. Go ahead, do it. But why in every town we want to have a temple that is unlike any other place in that place? There are certainly some Swami Karya and Swakarya, both are there in that. Certain amount of selfishness, certain amount of glory that comes along with building a huge project, because we have seen other devotees, how they are treated after they have completed big project. And I want to be that. But what is the real thing? The real thing is transforming people. The real thing is, making an ordinary man into a good devotee of the Lord. Can the big temples say that, we have made 10 pure devotees? They cannot say. But they will have a lot of people coming. Why a lot of people are going to come? Because why people are going to Taj Mahal? Why people are going to Eiffel Tower? What is there in Eiffel Tower? How many Indians are not going there? Look at that with my God. And then you take one selfie. Why? Are they going there to get some spiritual benefit? Or, sensual benefit? So, even building big temples with so much of sophisticated things, it has the potential to actually distract even the residents of such temples. This is my opinion. And if you go and check the 64 offenses that are there in Netra Devotion, you will find one thing, that, it is to over endeavor is also a wrong thing. And we find in many temples, devotees are so busy trying to finish a project that if you ask them when they really had 16 full quality rounds, and they have to scratch their head. And last year on Janmashtami day, I think I chanted very nicely. That's what they can tell. So therefore, every house must be a temple, in my opinion. Devotees are welcome to disagree with me. Every house must become a temple. Every street must have a temple. Every street you just engage one home, small home. Okay, 2-room apartments or 1-room apartment. How much is 1-room apartment? 25,000 rupees. And who are going to serve there? Just the 2 rows, opposite rows of, in one road on either side houses are there. Only those people attend there. And how much they have to give? Each of them? They don't have to give big money. But all of them can come there. You build a temple in some central, next to Vidhan Sauda. How can a man from Tavrekere go there? He cannot go there. And then the leader will say, hey, you cannot go to that temple. That temple is so close to him. Right next to his house, there is one ISKCON temple. But this big temple leader says, you should come to my temple, not go to his temple. What is this? These are the truth that is actually happening in our movement. Why they are always trying to think that this is my preaching. No, we are not doing my preaching. We are doing Mahaprabhu's preaching. So, if 20 houses join together, take one outhouse or take somebody's terrace, no money involved. And all those 20 houses can every day come for Mangalarti at 4:30 a.m. And every house, women have to walk only 10 steps or 20 steps or 30 steps to reach the temple, and they can come and do Rajbhog service. They can come and do all services. So this is actually, in my humble opinion, a better way of preaching than building big things. Of course, some additional things I have given, but then it is directly or indirectly connected to your question. I hope you got the answer.
Sure. Thank you so much for a very elaborate answer. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Jai Ho.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There is one question from Mataji. Do you have time, Prabhuji? 2 minutes.
Yes.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did karmas for his father at Gaya. What is our duty when it comes to our forefathers in this age of Kali Yuga, when we don't know whom to approach? What's the right tarpan to do to our forefathers? That's from Her Grace Radha Bhavini.
Thank you for the question. It's a good question. It's a very relevant question. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did the Shraddha Kriya for his father at Gaya. Is it a fact or not? It is a fact. Why it is a fact? Because the previous acharyas have recorded it. But did the record tell us whom he engaged as the priest for doing the Shraddha? I want the answer. He did Shraddha, yes. But who did Shraddha in the sense, who officiated during the Shraddha? Is that description there? No. Now, you think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have taken some crazy fellow who asked for 20,000? दो हजार दे दो, हम पूरा सब आपको साहब महाप्रभु आप भगवानी है, हम करेंगे आपको. Anybody would have gone and approached Mahaprabhu like that? No. That means whom he engaged, the definition of that, he would have engaged a person who is qualified to officiate in that ceremony. This is the first thing. Doing a ceremony, okay. But who is qualified to officiate in that ceremony? That must be understood. That is not there in that place. It is there in another part of the Shastra. For example, it is there. What are the qualifications of a priest who has to officiate in a Pitru Karya? He should be so completely detached from everything. He should have never ever done any breakage of any regulatory principles. Like this, hundreds of things are there. And Mahaprabhu found one. Or even if he could not find, he can empower somebody to be that. Because he is the Lord. Now the same Shastras are telling us that if you engage a person who is a woman hunter, who is a drunkard, who is completely, coveting money, who is not good, who is not chanting the holy names of the Lord, so many things. If anybody is doing this, then the same Shastra says that the person who officiated will go to hell. The person who engaged these services will go to hell. And the person for whom this ceremony was intended, that person also will go to hell. And the person who gave his place for doing that, he will also go to hell. Kya karenge bhaiya? He may say, I will go to Raghavendra Mata, this Mata, that Mata. But can you find whatever is there in Madhvacharya's Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya purports? We cannot find. So therefore, we have to understand, we cannot imitate. I'm always harping on this word. Follow, don't imitate. Following means doing something after full understanding of the situation. Imitation means, wo kiya, maybe karunga. Okay? That means imitation is external. Following means on the platform of knowledge. So, we have to first understand now, what is Shraddha ceremony? What are the components of Shraddha? The components of Shraddha is very simple. Number one is glorification of the Lord by offering him puja. Number two is offering of food for
Sorry, Guruji. Yeah, I just by mistake.
Got it. So, number one is glorification of the Lord, doing his puja. Number two is offering of pindha, food for the departed soul. Number three, offering of the tarpana for the departed soul. And number four, offering of food and vastra and other dakshina for the officiating priest. These are the things. Now, if you go to any standard ISKCON temple, is the puja happening or not on a daily basis? Yes. Is it being done in a much better way than all the other local temples? Yes. So what should you do? Sponsor a puja. Sponsor the whole day's puja in an ISKCON temple. That's one. Second thing, you have to give pinda to the departed soul. That is being done on a daily basis in all ISKCON temples. How is it being done? Idam mahaprasadam nirmalyadikam sarva bhutebhyo namaha. This mantra is being uttered. Idam mahaprasadam nirmalyadikam sarva bhutebhyo namaha. So not only your forefather, my forefather, his forefather, her forefather, everybody's forefather is receiving the prasada of the Lord. Pinda pradana is nothing but offering of Vishnu prasada. Okay, so that is being done. So if you just simply sponsor the worship of the Lord throughout the day 6 times, not 1 time, 6 times in a day, then your forefather, not only your forefather, everybody else also is getting their bhoga, prasada. Okay. So 2 things are over now. Now comes charity. Now whom to give charity? You have to give charity to a person who has said at least once in his lifetime, Lord, I am yours fully. What is that? You have to give charity to a person who is most worthy of receiving our charity. Any person who has told at least once in his lifetime, Lord, I am yours fully, but everybody will say that. But also take an action on the statement, Lord, I am yours fully. Every single brahmachari who is in our temple, they have told that. They have kicked all their money. They have kicked all their position. They have kicked all their post. They have kicked everything and they have come to live in the temple. So at least the moment when they enter the temple and shave their head, they surrendered themselves completely. Will your any Mata Pujari say anything like this? Even once in his lifetime? He cannot tell. Now you may say, no, when that devotee came, he was good. Now, he's doing all kinds of things. But that devotee did say, the other person, however good he is, he never gave up anything for the pleasure of the Lord. So therefore, even the fallen brahmacharis of ISKCON are most worthy to receive the charities. But I will not say, go to a brahmachari and start giving him money. Why? Because this money may become the problem for him and he may lose his sense, spiritual sense. So therefore, I would say, give it to the authority. But if you give it to authority, you are getting fallen down. Why? Because you are giving 1 lakh rupees, Prabhu, none a small contribution, Prabhu. Only 1 lakh I could afford this year. 1 lakh only. 1 lakh only. 100 times you will tell. Why you will tell 100 times 1 lakh? Because you want the name and fame out of it. So therefore, I will tell only this. Simply go, make a receipt for that day's seva, which is already fixed, which everybody knows, and then give a donation to the authorities or to the preachers. And quietly, when nobody is looking around, just insert all your 1 lakh rupee without telling it to even another single soul. And beg the devotees, can you give me little prasadam for today? They will give you. All our devotees, anywhere in the world, they are not so cruel as to say, I won't give you prasad. Especially if you have sponsored for the whole day puja. So they will make you sit down, they will serve you. You tell them, no, Prabhu, first all of you eat. So you serve them, take the bucket, you, your wife, your children, go and serve the brahmacharis. Or not only brahmacharis, even the grahasthas, anybody who is coming to the temple, you serve them. Who is allowed to go to the prasadam hall of the temple, you go and serve them. And then after that, you sit down and you take prasadam and go home. This is the best way to celebrate, or rather to observe any kind of Shraddha ceremony in any of the devotee families. Does this answer?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for elaborate answer. One last question, can you take, Prabhu? One more devotee is asking. His Grace Ravi Lochana Gauranga Prabhu has asked one question. As a grahastha, what kind of homa should be performed at home and its frequency?
What kind of homa should be performed at home? Once a week.
And its frequency. How frequently we should be doing that?
So homa. What kind of homa and how frequent?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Sankirtana yajna every day. Got the answer? Sankirtana yajna or Sankirtana homa, and on a daily basis. Frequency is at least once in 24 hours, if not twice a day.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Anything else? Anything else is simply, but still you would want to have, something special. So, okay, perform once a year, some Narasimha Yajna, Vaishnava Homa, why not? That's all. And feed the basic thing of bringing everybody together must be to do 3 things. Chant the holy names nicely, honor prasada, and offer service to each other. Festival means only this. How to offer service to each other? Preaching. So, chant the holy names, give a class, and distribute prasada. And for doing this, you don't require any yajna. But what to do? Attached to yajna. So therefore do some yajna, doesn't matter. But do these three things. If you do these three things, then program is success. If you didn't do these three things, but you did some big yajna with worth 10,000 rupees or 10 lakh rupees, no use. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for sparing your time on elaborated answers, and thank you very much, Prabhuji. Swayam Prakash Prabhu, before we close, you want to say anything, Prabhuji?
Nothing. I just, some of the devotees are hearing maybe for the first time from Prabhuji. I just wanted to tell briefly about His Grace Sheetalanga Prabhu. Prabhuji is the DT Worship Ministry, leading the DT Worship Ministry in ISKCON. So Prabhuji and Sevatala Prabhu, they both are there. They are trying to go to each temple and try to see that how the DT standards can be properly followed as per what is there, what is given by Srila Prabhupada and which is there in the scriptures. Otherwise, as Krishna tells that evam parampara praptam imam rajashya vido sakalane hamata yoga nashtu parantapa, that down the line, like the different ways of one's own concoctions, or it may get diluted. So that way Prabhuji is Prabhuji resides in Udupi, and for time being Prabhuji is there in Bangalore for some service, and we are very fortunate to get his valuable association. And Prabhuji is not only just as the service is given, he has in-depth knowledge about the aspects of the why it is done and how it should be done and for what purpose and in which way it should be done. Because of which Prabhuji can explain, like even the devotees might have got the understanding by hearing the answers which Prabhuji gave, that not just giving the, like, okay, in case of the Shraddha only, like not only what it is, but why it is done and how it should be done. So that way Prabhuji has a very in-depth knowledge of all these things. Even Prabhuji, his heart is that not only that the whole knowledge or this should be kept with oneself, it should be given to all the devotees so that everybody should know. That way everybody can follow the higher standards. Because of which Prabhuji recently, only two devotees had come from, one from Jhansi and one from Punjabi Bhatt. Two devotees had come to, they wanted to learn some of the elaborate services related to the deities. So Prabhuji gave almost practically every day 4, 5, 6 hours for almost 8 days. Prabhuji was spending time and trying to give the knowledge what he has. And also what I have observed is Prabhuji is like always, anything comes, he sticks to Prabhupada. That way, always his heart is filled with the gratitude for Prabhupada, because of which he doesn't want to budge an inch. And if he sees that somebody is going away from following Prabhupada, Prabhuji becomes like very this one. And also, we are very fortunate to have his association. And another thing is that Prabhuji is, as I said, that his heart is to share this knowledge with all. Prabhuji has a idea and plan to come up with a mobile app wherein all the either the Archana Vidhi, different aspects, simple, just like how to do Achamana, how to make the Samanya Arghya, how to offer Bhoga, or everything in a small, maybe 1, 2, 3 minutes, small clippings. And that way Prabhuji was telling that if I have to go around and go to each temple, I can do that, and I can teach, but how much I can reach out? I may be able to, in one temple, maybe 3, 4, 5 days, and then again maximum few temples. But if this app is made, then at one place I can just make it, and then it reaches out to everywhere, every country, and it can be done in all the different languages, so that it reaches out to everyone and that everyone can take benefit of it. And also Prabhuji has a desire that, as Prabhupada said, that simple living, high thinking. Prabhuji was also sharing once that, I don't know, Prabhuji, I'm just sharing what I'd heard from him. That the project, the desire that to go to Melkote where he has little land and then like the show and lead a life by which to show to the large society of devotees that how what Prabhupada said is not just imagination or just some theoretical, but it is practical how one can lead a simple life and one can be happy. So that way even progenitor is a true Brahmana, not just by this one or something that leading the life, not having any expectations and all. It's very fortunate to have his valuable association. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for spending so much of time, and we'll be looking forward to have your association more and more. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Srimad
Prabhuji.
Grantraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavandi ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, devotees. Thank you for staying with us. I will be ending the Zoom session.
Hare Krishna, just a small this one that some devotees had mentioned that it was very, we thank all the devotees for arranging this festival of gratitude. It just wanted to mention that it is not ended or something. It is the gratitude, it is a ever going, every day we need to offer gratitude. At the same time, the festival which we are planning to have, that is been just postponed because of the situation which had come related to the Bangladesh, and now tentatively we are planning to have it, maybe it is not yet fully decided, but tentatively after mostly Kartik, because many devotees during the Kartik weekends and all, they may want to visit the holy place or they may want to have the Abudar program and all. So we'll update it in a few days. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.